Alright, hello everyone. Today we'll be doing a video on Minecraft once again. This is a bit of a bigger one, but this is how you get every single enchantment in Minecraft. So as you can see by all these books right here, there's quite a few of them, and that's why this video is so long, because I'm showing you how to get them, and also what they all do as well. So yeah, you want to first start off and get some lapis lazuli, as this is how you actually enchant. You can enchant a lot of the enchantments, and I'll go over them all as I go through the video. But as you can see, put your item in there with some lapis lazuli, and you can enchant this stuff. You can also take off the enchantments using this grindstone right here. And if you combine some bookshelves with an enchantment table, it'll give you higher enchant levels. Now you can also enchant books as well, as you can see right here, and that is another way to put the enchantments on some items that you can't actually enchant through the enchantment table. So through item enchanting and book enchanting, you can do practically every single enchant for practically all weapons and items, except for these ones. Mending is one of them, Curse of Vanishing, Curse of Binding, Swift Sneak, Frostwalker, Soul Speed, and Windburst. Now you can also get any book from treasure apart from the following three. I'm also going to go over what treasure actually is in a second. So Swift Sneak, Soul Speed, and Windburst you cannot get through treasure. One of the treasure methods is villager trading, as you can see right here with the librarian. You can get books from the librarian. To get a librarian villager, you need to get a lectern and obviously make them a librarian that way. You can also get books from treasure chests, so there's quite a lot of different ways to get them. Practically in any structure they'll have these. And the other way is, of course, fishing as well. But of course, them three books you cannot get through this method. Now, once you do get one of these books, of course, you can combine them in a anvil to put the enchantment on an item. Another thing I want to mention right here for the purpose of the video is there's actually different rarities of the books and chance of getting the enchantment in the enchantment table and stuff. So if you see a colour block behind the enchantment book, that's how rare it is. There's three more enchants here that I'll also go through as I do the video as well, as there are different ways to get them. So the first category is all. So these following enchantments can be put on any of these items, as you can see. So you can do this via item enchanting, book enchanting, and also through the treasure methods that I mentioned. And it's all the following items here. Now, the following items at the below cannot be gotten through the enchantment table, but can be gotten through book enchanting and treasure. And it's them items right there. So you'd essentially have to get a book from them two methods and then combine it in an anvil for them ones. So for this one, this is obviously unbreaking. As you can see right here, this gold pickaxe runs out very quickly. I destroyed essentially 3 lines of coal right there. As for the unbreaking pickaxe, you can see it's not even halfway done for the same amount of blocks. That's what the unbreaking enchantment does. Now we're on to mending. Now you can only get mending through treasure methods, which is obviously villager trading, fishing, and loot chests as well. And it goes for any of the following items as well. One additional thing as well is this enchantment is not compatible with the infinity enchant that goes for bows, so you won't be able to do that. As you can see, my durability on my golden pickaxe is going down, but when I pick up some experience, you can see that it starts to go up. That's basically what the enchantment does. Now we have the Curse of Binding. This is a negative enchant, and this is only gotten through treasure methods, the 3 methods that I mentioned before, and it can be put on any of them following items. So basically when you die, what happens is you lose that item upon death. You cannot pick it up again. It literally gets deleted from the world. So now on to all armor enchants. Also as well, the books actually show the highest level of the enchant. You can get any of the levels up to that level. And as you can see, you can get the protection enchant through enchanting, book enchants, treasure, and it goes on them items, and you cannot put it on any of the other types of protection. So without protection, this zombie done about 3 hearts. With protection, it done about 2 hearts. Now we're on to fire protection, and as you can probably expect, it's going to protect you from fire. So you get through item enchant, book enchant, and treasure, and it goes for the following items right here. And you cannot put it on the same with protection, projectile protection, and blast protection. So this is without fire protection. You can see I lose health very quickly in lava, and fire damage as well is really high. But as you can see, I can practically just sit in the lava for a little bit more time, and the fire goes out very quickly as well. Now, same again for the projectile protection, item enchant, book enchant, and treasure. And it goes to the same items again, but it's also once again incompatible with the other protection types. So I'm currently getting shot by a skeleton right now without my projectile protection, and you can see it's doing about a heart and a half or something like that. With projectile protection, you can see it's doing a heart, maybe half a heart sometimes, so it's significantly reduced. Then we also have blast protection, as you can see right here. Once again, same old story, same old methods to get it, and once again, same again. The other protections don't work with it. So this is without the blast protection. It does about 6 hearts of damage. With blast protection, it only done 2. Now we're on to Thorns. So this, you can be getting this from item enchanting, book enchants, and treasure, and it goes on the same items again. And as you can see, ever so often when I get hit by a zombie or a skeleton or whatever, the actual mob takes damage if it hits my bit of armor that has thorns on it. So then we have Curse of Binding, and that goes for the following items right here, and it can only be gotten through treasure. And what this basically does is when you put on a bit of armor, you cannot take it off. As you can see right here, I'm trying to take this bit of armor off, and it's not going to let us. It only comes off whenever you die. So if you die, it obviously drops on the floor, as you can see right there. And then you can pick it up again and probably discard it because you never want to put it on again. Okay, so next up we have the Helmet enchant. There's only 2 of these, so we have Respiration, and it goes up level 3, of course. And then we have Item enchant, Book enchant, and Treasure, and it can be put on any helmet and the turtle shell. As you can see, I am losing my bubbles very, very quickly in the bottom corner. But when I put Respiration on, I lose them a lot slower, allowing you to breathe underwater for longer. Now we have Aqua Affinity, so this can be gotten through item enchanting, book enchanting, and also treasure as well, and it's also been applicable to the same items, so helmets. And basically what this does is it allows you to break blocks underwater faster. As you can see, I put it on right here, and you can see I can break the blocks at normal speed, as if I wasn't even underwater in the first place. Then we have the Leggings enchant. So this is the first special one, which is the Swift Sneak one, as you can see right here. This obviously can only be put onto leggings. So how you actually get this enchant is through the Ancient City, which of course is a very, very dangerous area to be in. But in the chests in the Ancient City, you do have a chance to get Swift Sneak. As you can see right here is a book right here. So I got a Swift Sneak 2 book, but you can obviously get up to Swift Sneak 3. As you can see, I'm sneaking right here, and when I put the leggings on, I go a lot faster. Then we have all the book enchants. So the first one is Feather Falling. This one is obviously very self-explanatory, but we have this going on item enchant, book enchant, and also treasure. You can get it through their methods, and only goes on book. So normally you can only fall 23 blocks, but with Feather Falling, you can actually fall up to 42 blocks without dying. So anyway, let's go to the next one, which is Depth Strider. So this one is really fun as well. This can be gotten through item enchant, book enchant, and treasure. And it goes on boots once again, but incompatible with Frostwalker, which we'll go over in a second. So as you can see, I'm walking on the water and I go very slowly. But when I put the boots on, I go a lot faster. Now I've got Frostwalker. This can only be gotten through treasure means, and can only put on boots as well, and it's incompatible with Depth Strider, which we just went over. So when you put these on, you essentially make the water turn into ice that you can walk on. And the ice slowly disappears after. Now we have Soul Speed. This is actually a special enchant. You can only get this through one way, and it only goes on boots once again. So yeah, the way you actually get this is you go through the nether, and you want to basically find a structure called a Bastion Remnant. And there's a potentiality that you can find a book of Soul Speed inside of these chests. Now, alternatively, you can also trade or barter with the piglins, and you also have a very small chance of getting a Soul Speed book from these as well. Now, what you can do with Soul Speed, as you can see, I'm walking on Soul Soil and Soul Sand. That's very hard to say. And I'll go very slowly. When I put the Soul Speed books on, you can see I'm absolutely zooming across this. So now we're on to all the tool enchantments. These can be put on all of the different types of tools. The first one is Efficiency. So you get this via a item enchant, book enchant, or treasure, and it can go on the shovel, pickaxe, hoe, and axe. And alternative, you can put it on shears via the anvil through books and treasure. And what this basically does is it increases the speed at which you mine. So as you can see, I'm breaking the coal a lot faster now. So we're moving on to the next one, and this one is Fortune. So same thing again, this goes for item enchanting, book enchanting, and also treasure. And it can be put on the shovel, the pickaxe, the axe, and the hoe. And it is incompatible with Silk Touch. You can only put one or the other on this one. And as you can see by the core right here, I'm getting 1 core per block without fortune. With fortune, which I'm going to show right here, I'm getting a lot more, as you can see right here. Just 2 blocks broken, and I've got up to 11 now. So you get a lot more core per block. So next up is Silk Touch, and this one can be gotten through item enchant, book enchant, and treasure for the shovel, the pickaxe, axe, and the hoe. And also can be applied to the shears through book enchanting and treasure, but it's also incompatible with fortune as well. Now what this basically does, as I'm going to show you right here, I'm mining with a normal pickaxe and I'm getting some coal. Now if I mine with a Silk Touch pickaxe, you can see I actually get the coal ore, so I actually get the actual block that I'm mining rather than just the item. Now we're on the fishing rod enchants. So the first one is lure. So this enchantment can be gotten through item enchanting, book enchanting, and treasure, and goes on the fishing rod. Now I have actually sped this up, so this is just a normal fishing rod going at 4 times speed. You can see it's taking forever, but with lure, you can see it's practically done already, so it makes it a lot quicker to fish. Now we have Look at the Sea, can be gotten through item, book, and treasure, on only the fishing rod once again. Now what this does, when you finally do capture something, you get better loot. So as you can see, I actually got an enchanted book. Now we're going to go over all the melee based enchants. So this one is sharpness for the item, book, and treasure. This goes for the axe and the sword, but it's also incompatible with smite and bane of arthropods, which we'll go over in a second. So as you can see, it takes 3 hits to kill a skeleton right here, without sharpness, but with sharpness it takes only 2. Then we'll have Smite. This is practically the same story once again, so you can get this on item enchant, book enchant, and treasure for the axe and the sword, but you can also put it on the mace, but you cannot get it through the enchantment table, so you have to get it through a book or treasure. It's also incompatible with the following enchantments: sharpness, bane of arthropods, as well as density and breach, specifically for the mace. So we'll go over them when we go over the mace. So what Smite does is it basically it does more damage to undead mobs like a skeleton or a zombie, and as you can see, I only 2-hit that skeleton with the Smite sword, but you can also 1-hit them with a critical hit as well. So now let's go over Bane of Arthropods. So this one is, once again, an item enchant, book enchant, or treasure enchant for the sword and the axe, but you can also put it on the mace through book enchants and treasure, and it's incompatible with sharpness, smite, density, and breach. Now this one is just the same thing, but works with insect-like mobs like the silverfish and the spider. So a normal sword took 3 hits to kill a spider, whereas Bane of Arthropods only 1. Now we've got Fire Aspect. This goes for the item enchant, book enchant, and treasure for the sword and the mace. And what this basically does is sets the mob on fire and does burn damage over time. So now we're going to go over just the sword enchants. This first one is Knockback. So this one goes, once again, for just the sword and can be gotten through item enchant, book enchant, and treasure enchants. And as you can see, I hit this witch. It knocks it back a little bit with the normal sword, but as you can see with Knockback, it goes a lot further. Now we have Looting. So this can be gotten through treasure, book, and an item enchant on just the sword. And what this one does, as you can see, I'm killing this witch right here. I'm going to drop this random redstone I picked up off the previous witch, and I'm going to pick up this. This is 7 redstones. I got 7 redstone off non-looting, and off looting, you see, I got a lot more items off killing just one witch. You can see I got 9 redstone, 8 sticks, and 4 glass bottles off just one witch there. Now we have the mace enchant. So the first one is called Density. So this one can be put on just the mace once again, and this goes for the item enchant, book enchant, and treasure, and it's incompatible with the following enchants: sharpness, smite, bane of arthropods, and also breach as well. So what this basically does is the mace, the further you drop, the more damage you do to an enemy that you hit. Now what density does is it essentially makes that damage even more. So I just use a normal mace here, and you can see it done a lot of damage, but it didn't quite kill the iron golem. Now with density, it actually did from the same height. Now we're on to breach. So this one can be gotten through item enchanting, book enchanting, and treasure on the mace once again, and it's incompatible with sharpness, smite, bane of arthropods, and density. So basically what this one does is it goes off armor. So I'm using a normal mace right here, and it actually takes 14 hits to kill this zombie that has armor. Now this is the same for players as well. Now what breach does is it essentially ignores the armor. And obviously the higher the enchant, the more it actually ignores the armor. So as you can see with this zombie with armor, It only takes 4 hits to kill it. Now we have Windburst. So Windburst is another special enchant, the final special enchant that goes for the mace only. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to a trial chamber, as you can see. And you get this from the ominous trial vault. As you can see right here, I got a book out of this one. And that is the Windburst book. Now what Windburst does is when you hit an enemy, you essentially get launched into the sky, as you can see right here. But if you don't time it correctly, and you don't hit another enemy afterwards, you can potentially die of fall damage because of it. Now let's go over the Trident enchants. The first one is Loyalty 3. So this enchant can be gotten through item enchanting, book enchant, and treasure, and it only goes for the Trident, and it's incompatible with Riptide, which we'll go over in a second. So as you can see, I shot my Trident at the creeper, and it's just lying there. But when I shoot my Loyalty one, it comes back to us, as you can see right there. Now we have the Impaling enchants. This goes through item enchanting, book enchant, and treasure, and it was only available for the Trident. So I'm going to make it rain right now, as what it basically does is it does extra damage to the Trident in the rain with this enchantment on. It also works in water as well, so if you're in water, it does a lot more damage. As you can see, it just one-shot that creeper there. The next one is Riptide. This can be gotten through item enchant, book enchanting, and treasure, and only available for the Trident. This is also incompatible with the following enchants, Loyalty, and also Channeling, which we'll go over in a second. And so this one, you basically can use it in water or in the sky if it's raining, to essentially just launch yourself. It's really good to essentially transport yourself around. Now the next enchantment is Channeling. So this one is only available through item enchant, book enchant, and treasure, and it's only for the Trident, and it's also incompatible with that Riptide enchant that I just went over. So what this one does is if it's thundering and you hit an enemy, it summons a lightning bolt. Now unfortunately I've done that on a creeper, so it made it a charged creeper, and I just died from a big explosion. So next up we have the bow enchant. So the first one is Power. So this one goes through item enchant, book enchant, and treasure, and only available for the bow. So we're using a normal bow right here, and it takes 3 shots to hit to kill this creeper. Now if I use a power bow, you can see it only takes 1. Now we've got the punch enchant. This is the same thing once again. Item enchant, book enchant, and treasure for only the bow. And as you can see, a normal arrow doesn't really launch it back that far, but with a punch bow, it really knocks it back. Now we have the flame enchant, which is once again only available through their means and also for the bow. And it basically just lights the creeper on fire, or whatever mob you hit on fire. Now we have the Infinity enchantment. So this goes for item enchanting, book enchant, and treasure for the bow, but it's also incompatible with mending. It's the only enchantment that's not compatible with mending. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually change out the full stack of arrows that I had to only 1 arrow. You only need 1 arrow to use this bow as many times as you want. As long as you have that 1 arrow, you can just shoot as many arrows as you want. So next up we have the Crossbow enchant. So the first one is called Piercing. So this one goes for item enchanting, book enchanting, and also treasure for just the crossbow. And it's also incompatible with multi-shot, which we'll go over in a second. But as you can see, I've summoned loads of zombies one behind another, and I'm going to use a normal bow on these. And as you can see, it only ever hits 1 zombie normally. But if you have the piercing enchant, you can see I hit loads of zombies in 1 hit. And you can essentially take down a full crowd of whatever mob you're shooting at very quickly. Now we have the quick charge enchant. This is got through item enchanting, book enchanting, and treasure for the crossbow. Now what this basically does is it makes it so you can essentially reload the crossbow so much quicker, as you can see right there. Now we have the multi-shot enchant. This has gotten through item enchant, book enchant, and treasure for the crossbow, and it's also incompatible with the piercing enchant. So what this one does, which is the final enchant by the way, is you essentially shoot 3 arrows in 1, but you only use 1 arrow. As you can see, I just picked up an arrow there, and I just picked up the arrow there as well. And that is every single enchantment in the game and how to get them all. I really hope this guide was helpful for you guys, and telling you all the information that you need to know, including how rare the enchants are as well if you looked at the blocks throughout the video, and of course what the enchants obviously do as well. But yeah, I really hope this guide was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.